Time now for a check of the top business news stories. Our business editor Kate Moody is here. Hi there, Kate.
Hi, Tom.
Now, something of a breakthrough on global taxation. Tell us more.
Well, it's going to be looming this week. It's got all eyes on it. Years in the making, but a deal could now be announced by the end of this week. That's according to the Financial Times, which reports the G7 countries are inching towards an agreement. Now, that grouping includes Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Last week, Washington agreed to accept a minimum corporate tax rate of 15% rather than the 21% the Biden administration had been targeting, a move which France said paved the way to an international deal. Opposition to such a framework by former President Donald Trump had seen him threaten tariffs on countries like France and the UK, which were pushing ahead with their own tax plans in the absence of a broader deal. Talks overseen by the OECD have picked up momentum in recent months, and tech giants, which would likely bear the brunt of any changes, are now bracing for higher tax bills to come. Let's check in on the day's trading action now. The major European indices closed slightly higher, although stocks in Germany, Switzerland and Austria are among those that were closed for a public holiday. The CAC 40 up about a third of a percentage point at the close. Wall Street's trending higher as well. Airline and cruise companies among those performing well. Tech stocks are trading sharply higher. The Nasdaq up about 1.5%. Alphabet, Facebook and Microsoft have all jumped today. Now, all that movement on the markets has had a concrete impact on a few personal fortunes. For a few hours today, French tycoon Bernard Arnault became the world's richest person, Forbes valuing his worth at $186.3 billion as shares of his luxury group LVMH surged. That spot has been alternating between Amazon's Jeff Bezos and Tesla founder Elon Musk. Bezos then took back the top ranking as Wall Street opened. Moving on to some of the day's other business headlines now. Cryptocurrencies have begun to stabilize on the markets after a wild week saw billions of dollars wiped off their values. Warnings of more regulation in China and erratic comments by supporter Elon Musk have seen the likes of Bitcoin lose some 40% of its worth in the space of just a few days. Today, it's up 15% in 24 hours. The Bank of England, meanwhile, has warned that crypto assets remain potentially dangerous. The UK's third largest steel group has confirmed it will have to sell off at least one of its plants in order to stay afloat. Liberty Steel, which is owned by Sanjeev Gupta, is one of the companies that have been worst affected by the collapse of finance group Greensill Capital. 1,500 people are employed at the sites in northern England, which could be affected. And Emirates Airlines has warned Boeing it could refuse its 777X plane if the aerospace giant doesn't stick to its commitment of a 2023 delivery date. The carrier's president said he's unsure if he'll receive the first jet before 2024. A cancellation could be devastating for the American manufacturer. Thousands of residents in Berlin have been protesting a court decision to overturn a freeze on rent payments. Landlords could start claiming thousands of euros in back rent and hiking prices, even as many Germans struggle with the economic impact of the pandemic. Ellen Gainsford reports.
They're calling for, quote, rent madness to stop. These protesters are worried prices are about to skyrocket in Berlin after Germany's Supreme Court revoked a 5-year freeze.
Ich finde, wir müssen so viel Druck erzeugen mit Demonstrationen und anderen Aktionen, dass die Politik, die politisch Verantwortlichen gezwungen
und der Profitgier vieler Gesellschaften, vieler privaten Investoren doch versuchen, was entgegenzusetzen.
The court decided that rent policy can only be governed by federal law, not decided state by state, voiding the rent cap passed by Berlin's legislature in January 2020. The law froze rents at the level from June 2019 until 2025, after which any increases would have been limited to 1.3% per year, in line with inflation. Now it's been scrapped. More than 1.5 million apartments are affected. Renters could be asked for back pay, money that few have to hand after a difficult year marred by the pandemic. Once viewed as an affordable option, attracting artists and students for its reasonable rentals, prices have more than doubled since 2008, although Berlin still doesn't make it onto the list of the top 10 most expensive European cities. In 2020, London, Zurich and Geneva were the top 3 priciest cities to rent in.
That's all for now, Tom.
Thank you very much indeed, Kate Moody there, with all the business goings on.